goodness, there's no camera there. Hurry up, get over there. All right. Hey, how you doing? John has filmmakeriq.com. I haven't streamed in a while. Things have been kind of busy for me. Things have been changing quite a bit. My life has been kind of changing. So, but I think I need to find my way back to what it is I do. And that is talk about film history, tell stories and inspire people to make films and tell their story. All right, so let's talk to the topics of the day that I put out for me. If you're a viewer, hey, how you doing, Jack D. Ripper? Oh, we got 9 viewers. Oh my goodness, the people are flooding in. There we go. All right, so, well, let's not bury the lead. Godzilla -1 minus color. So I have been seeing a girl now, yay me, and I said, hey, do you want to see the Godzilla movie? And to my shock and surprise, she said, yes, I love Godzilla. Let me explain to you the history of Mechagodzilla and why it's important. And I was like, yes, we definitely need to continue this. So I said, have you seen Godzilla -1? No, I have not. Well, allow me to show you. Allow me to retort. Godzilla -1. So he went and saw Godzilla -1 minus color, which is an interesting experience because I got to experience what Godzilla looked like to someone who had not seen that movie, so I get to re-experience it. And when you watch a movie a second time, you get to sense like where the progression is, and you get to sense how the pieces of the story work. And Godzilla -1 is actually very solid story-wise, very solid as far as where the character development occurs. And you watch it again, because you know the ending now, you know where we're going, so you can kind of pay attention to the path we're taking. And it's fascinating how it works. Now, I guess let's not bury the lead here. How is the minus color version compared to like the full color version? I've thought about it a lot. I think I would prefer watching it the color version. I think taking away the color, what it does in some aspects is it does make some of the Godzilla scenes feel more like the original Toho 1950s Godzilla, right? You get a little bit more of that flavor from the earlier era. However, there are things in the movie that are diminished by the fact that it's not in color. Like, one of the things that really is diminished is the fact that when Godzilla has his blue nuclear breath and you see his spikes go boom, 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 right? It just doesn't work without color, because the stark boldness of the blue, how everything is just like lit up in blue, and then when you see people reacting to it, when you get the reaction shot of the guys that are watching it, you don't have that blue cast. Like, that blue cast creates that sense of dread of the nuclear breath. And in black and white, it's just color. Not color. It's just brightness. It's luma. So that I feel like is missing. And I don't have the nostalgia for the original Toho black and white. So therefore, it doesn't really do a whole lot to me for it to be in black and white. So I would say, if you had to choose, watch the Godzilla -1 in black and white. Now, the story was still just as good. Like, the actual human drama. And watching it again, I realized how crucial the whole thing's a human drama. It's really about survivorship guilt. And it's the main character just dealing with the fact that he survived the encounter, that he did not, and everyone else died. It really is that. And upon second viewing, and I don't want to go too much into spoilers here, upon second viewing, I kind of realized how crucial that element of the story, and some people might take a little taken back by the way it ends, and I feel like it could not, of all the endings you decided to pick, like, of all the different endings, that ending is the most appropriate for the movie, because it most succinctly wraps up the story, because in a sense, all right, chat, do you mind if I go into a little bit of spoilers on that? Let's see what you guys say. Valuing human life. Okay, we can talk a little bit about that. Yeah, okay. The way it ends, the way it ends, this character, and this is just striking me right now at this very point, right now at this very moment. So you are witnessing the first iteration from my mind here. The way it ends, the survivorship guilt is in this guy's head. So it's so much that he is turning away life, turning away, a relationship with a woman that he meets. I mean, the relationship is interesting. It's like they're a family, but they're not. But he refuses to be a family. He refuses to be part of that family, but it's because it's in his own head. And I think if you ended up with the girl dying for reals, then you don't have that throughput, because now they're dead. Now she's dead, and it's just okay. Well, but having her alive and then delivering the final line is your war over. Is your personal war over? It basically brings it around. Like if she weren't alive, you wouldn't have that satisfying conclusion, because the war is in his head. The war is personal. The war is internal. It's not external. He's turning away everything. And if he can accept her back, that feels like it's more concretely looping back and finishing off the story. Rather than oh, she's dead, I'm just have to live with carrying on. It's a different story. It's like carrying on with dealing with the loss of other people. That's kind of a different story. The story is he had to have the will to fight, the will to reach out and grab life again. Okay, that's kind of that's why her survival is essential at the end of the movie. Anyhow, I don't know. Maybe I'm clouded with my own thoughts, but on second viewing. The first viewing, I thought, well, I don't know if that makes, first viewing, I'm like, oh, it's a happy ending. It's nice. It's cool. It's sweet and all that, but maybe it's a little too saccharine. I don't know. But upon second viewing, upon kind of sitting with the themes of the movie, if you didn't have her coming back at the end, she stays dead, then it's sort of a story. But it makes more of all the possible outcomes. Like that outcome, the ending, makes the most sense and it's the most satisfying. Even if it is slightly like out there and like, okay, that's a little implausible, right? Although, I mean, you don't ever see her like die, so it's not implausible, but it makes the most storyline sense to come back and reveal that it is his own internal struggle throughout the whole movie. I don't know. Does anyone have any pushback on that? I know there's a whole lot of people watching. How do you like the pacing of Godzilla? I thought the pacing was even better. I thought the pacing was really, really good. Chung Ling, if you haven't seen the movie, go see it. It is so good. It is so good. Rigel 7, I'm here now. Start over. Oh, okay. So I was born a impoverished black child. Oh, I just got canceled there. Well, she got swooshed by Godzilla, but she didn't die. You don't know if she dies. I saw the thing on her neck, and it made me go, oh, okay. They're going somewhere. Oh, she clearly got swooshed. I saw the thing on her neck that made her go, oh, okay. They're going somewhere. I'm still mad that she's alive. I don't think it works as well if she's not alive at the end. Again, like I was saying, it is because the story is not about dealing with struggle. It's about his own internal struggle, and you have to like bring it back. Have I found my own special purpose? Maybe. My purpose is to talk about Godzilla and then talk about another movie that I went and saw, which is Beekeeper. This was not my choice. This is her choice. She wanted to see Beekeeper because she's a Jason Statham fan. I'm like, okay, I'll see any movie. I had no idea what the Beekeeper was about. All right. So let me explain the Beekeeper to you in words that will hopefully soothe your ears, comfort your hearts. Sorry, I just need to be drinking more water. So, the Beekeeper is about Jason Statham. And Jason Statham is a beekeeper. Yes, he's a beekeeper, but more than one sense of the word beekeeper. He lives next door to a kindly old woman who just wants to take care of him. You know, he's a very kindly neighbor, very kindly neighbor. And then what happens is one day these scam callers start calling, and they're like, "Hey, you know," or no, she calls a scammer. She gets an email like it says, "You know, you've given us $500 to buy this thing." She's like, "I didn't give you $500." Like, "Oh, I'm sorry. So we'll put the money back in your account." And they put $50,000. Like, "Oh no, I'm gonna get fired. You don't want me to get fired." Well, hold on. So they do a couple things, and then they steal all her money, including $2 million for this charity she's been operating. She's been all gone, completely wiped out. And so she's so distraught. That she ends up killing herself by shooting herself. And Jason Statham, the beekeeper, oh no, this is bad. Like this neighbor of his, he took care of her. He fed, he gave her, she gave him food and you know, and kindness when he needed it most, because he's a beekeeper. So but he's not just any old beekeeper. He's the beekeeper, and the beekeeper with a capital B are a group of undercover sort of paramilitary, paralegal, like badassery. It's like MI6, only it's not CIA, or not they're not involved with espionage. They are there to protect the hive. The beekeepers must protect the hive from hornets and all that. So he goes to this call center. He's carrying two big, you know, gasoline things. He's like, "Yeah, I'm here. I'm Jason Statham, and I'm here to burn this place down." And of course, the security's like, "Well, you know, welcome to our building, but we can't allow you to burn this place down." And Statham's like, "No, you don't understand. I gotta burn this place down." And like, I hear what you're saying. Okay, I know what you're coming here for a purpose. I get it, but we can't allow you to burn this place down. So Jason Statham just big punch, boom, boom, and they're all down. And he goes down. He just burns the place down. And now this pisses off the person that's in charge of the scam caller, because it's like, you know, the levels go deeper. So he puts out a hit on Jason Statham, right? And then they keep coming back, and basically it's like a back and forth between like these two bosses, and there's a lot of fighting. I think it's Richard Avery that did it. Like Richard Avery. I love your comments already. Oh yeah. I watched Beekeeper. It was not a bad movie. So my criticism of Beekeeper, Richard Avery, who did the John Wick movies, right? The Beekeeper. Beekeeper. Keeper. There you go. That's how you spell it. Is it Richard Avery that directed it? David Ayer. Oh my God, I got that way off. David Ayer did Fury. Okay, maybe I got David Ayer wrong. Suicide Squad. No, well, not John Wick. Okay, Suicide Squad, Beekeeper, Fury, End of Watch, Tax Collector, Bright. So yeah, very like action adventure kind of fighting style movies, and the fighting's pretty good. I mean, so here's the thing. Here's the only thing here's my criticism about the Beekeeper. It plays it too safe. Like, there's a lot of like philosophical talk about keeping bees in the movie. I can't believe I'm saying that. There's a lot of discussion about how, you know, bees have to protect the hive. There's a lot of that in there, but I wish there were more. I wish the entire movie was nothing but a giant bee pun. Now, there is a couple puns in there, and I'm going to spoil them because I'm pretty sure no one's going to watch this on my recommendation. But there's one pun in there that's really good. I mean, imagine yourself a classic 80s movie with like, you know, like Arnold Schwarzenegger comeback lines, you know, whatever. Anyhow, here's the line that I love. So Jason Statham fights this one dude who's like, has the same accent that Fat Bastard has in those Mike Myers, what do they call those movies? Austin Powers. Yeah, it's the same kind of like, I'm going to get the Beekeeper there. I've messed with a Beekeeper once, and I lived it, but only by luck. Instead, I lost my leg. Right? Anyhow, so they're fighting with this Scottish. He looks like Fat Bastard, only like a thinner version of Fat Bastard. And he's got like weird sideburns, and they're fighting, boom, 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 boom. And he says this is the best line in the movie. And like and this Beekeeper gets Jason Statham on like knife to the neck kind of thing. He's right on the edge, right? And he says, "You got to ask yourself one thing, Beekeeper: to be or not to be." And Jason Statham like reverses it and punches him out. And he's like, "I choose to be." And if the rest of the movie just did that, the whole movie, I would have left the theater just like, I don't know, I'm not going to say it. I can't say it. I would have left I would have changed my shorts. How about that? I would have had to change my shorts if the rest of the movie was just chock full of bee puns. Just everything's B. And that's the other thing I'm very disappointed. I'm sorry this is going to be a spoiler here. He never uses the bees as a weapon. Like, I was expecting the Beekeeper like to unleash the bees or the dogs that shoot bees out of their mouth, right? I just wanted something to do with bees attacking the bad guys. Just, none of that. I got nothing from that Beekeeper. All I saw was Jason Statham punching the crap out of her. He cuts off fingers. He does all kinds of brutal stuff. There's an elevator that crushes somebody and breaks them in half. It's wonderful, but there's no bee violence. The bees are not violent. Or, I mean, at very least, unleash a bunch of hornets, because his whole thing is like, yeah, you can't let the hornets get in the hive. I'm here to protect the hive. I need to smoke them out. No, instead we don't get it. We just get some talk about how bees are communal and they all work together and there's a queen and all that stuff. But we need some like more bee puns. Not enough. There's a little bit. Just needed to go crazier. And it's like kind of funny because like, Everybody that's in the know knows what a Beekeeper is, and so they're all talking like Jeremy Irons, right? Who has every right not to be in this movie. He's just making a paycheck, but he's having fun with the part. So Jeremy Irons is going, "Oh, you've done it, kid. You've messed with the Beekeeper." It's like, lean harder into that. Keep going all the way into that. So that's my take on B movie. All right, I think the chat is probably just speculating on my personal life. Oh, he didn't say it. Yeah, he should have said, "Ooh, that stings." I think it might have been in there. I seriously think it might have been in there. John Wick 1, a B movie. Yeah, that's pretty funny. Dang, I make the Beekeeper sound interesting. I think, I wish it just went full on B. Like, it had to just go full B, and then it would have been good. It's okay. Like, it's one of those movies where I think if you carried it on, if you just caught it on cable or something, or HBO Max, and you didn't pick it, you're like, all right. Is the stream lagging? Uh-oh, that's not good. Hold on, let me check my streaming. It might be lagging because I don't know. It looks pretty good on my end, but I take this editing box with me to do shoots, so let's do a speed test real quick. Let's see how slow my internet is. I got 200 down. Let's see what it is up. Up is what matters. So yeah. So Godzilla up is 200, so might be you, Mion. All right. So I think we're pretty clear on that. Okay. So last thing on my list to talk about here is intentionality. This is something I've been kind of feeling a little bit. So I'll just say it. I watched the other 48-hour film projects that I was involved with. I guess the voting's over tonight. I didn't want to put it on you guys. I didn't want to put it out there because they're making people pay $5 to vote. And it's like, I don't want you guys paying $5. If you want to pay $5, pay it to me. Give me a super chat. Wink. No. So I was watching them, and I was having conversations with students, and that are interested in filmmaking and stuff like that. And I just get the sense that the real problem is intentionality. And what do I mean by intentionality? I mean, when you shoot something, you're shooting for the edit, you're shooting for the story, and you're building things up for the story, and you're crafting everything for the story. And again, I got into it. I didn't get into it, like, it didn't get negative or anything, but I talked about. I was discussing something on Reddit about 32-bit float, and 32-bit float is to me the essence of people not having intentionality. And I can just record. Why would I need to set levels? I can just like put it out there, hit record, and be done with it. And it speaks to basically how when you go and you shoot something, and I am working on another video. I swear I am. I've just got to get my life kind of put back together, and that way I can full steam ahead a little bit here. But like, one of the things that I talked about in this video that I'm going to do, put out there, is about intentionality. Because if you're shooting a multicam situation, you have to know what it is you're trying to capture, what it is you're trying to do here. Like, so much of what I feel like younger filmmakers, and maybe this is, well, probably me too, right? Filmmaking is not about telling the story, it's about playing with equipment, playing with cameras, playing with stuff. And there's a place for playing with stuff, right? There's a place in taking a camera out, just go ahead and shoot and have fun and explore and find angles and shoot stuff, right? There's a place for that. I'm not trying to knock it. What I'm trying to say is, if you have a story, if you have something you're trying to tell, this, again, don't take any of this as like completely binary advice, completely like this is the only way you must do things, right? When you go out with a purpose and to do something, like, do it. Like, aim for something, and it will reveal itself, more or less. Like, aim. Like, actually go shoot a movie with the intention of capturing something. Versus, like, I don't know. And again, even if you have a script sometimes, like, if you have a script, like, I saw some of these 48s, and I don't want to knock them because I'm in the competition, so it's not fair. I know I'm the best. Wink, wink, wink. No. I know, well, everyone thinks they're the best, so it's not fair for me to like knock other people's stuff, and it isn't. If I'm in the competition. But it's like some of the shots are just so, why? Like, there's no intentionality to it. And maybe part of that is the fact that they submitted their film in log color. Like, please don't shoot log if you're not going to color grade it. Like, just don't. Like, for 48, like, if you're not experienced with how to work with a log workflow, like, just don't shoot log. I hate that everybody on the internet tells you got to shoot log. You're throwing away information if you're not shooting log. If you're not shooting raw, everything must be raw. Ugh. Like, it's one project I got, and I apologize if you're watching this, Chris, but it was a project for a medical lab testing company. And the whole thing, like, they shot a bunch of B-roll, and the whole thing was 5 terabytes of footage. 5 terabytes of footage for a medical lab testing footage, which is not particularly exciting, or, it's just lab testing footage. I mean, it's cool, but it's not, it's not like, oh my God, this is amazing. I need to shoot this in 8K RAW with a RED camera and generate 5 terabytes of footage, which is just cumbersome to work with and defeats the purpose of anyhow. But like, that to me felt like that's just playing with equipment. It doesn't warrant 5 terabytes of footage. Luckily, I didn't have to work with 5 terabytes. I had to work with some other footage. But anyhow, intentionality. I guess I'm also a little bit annoyed with that project because I had to edit. I didn't shoot it, so I had to edit this kind of training video. But the footage, the B-roll footage, didn't match the script, and it's like, that's why my thoughts were about intentionality. It's like, you're shooting this B-roll, but you're not really looking at the script and saying, okay, the script says we need to show the workplace. Now, I don't know. Maybe they didn't have the script when they shot the B-roll, and they just kind of asked the people, hey, what do you do in this situation? And they just did it, and they didn't follow. And the script came later, kind of a thing. I don't know. So, intentionality. Like, purpose. Have a purpose. Do a purpose. Make a purpose. Do something. Like, When you tell a story, when you make a film, tell a story. Don't just show off your gear. And that's the at Filmmaker IQ, I used to have this all the time back because I was doing articles and stuff for Filmmaker IQ back when the DSLR first kind of got established, right? The first gained momentum and ground. And I got so many people saying to me, like, hey, John, I want you to write an article about this. This is the first film ever shot on a 5D Mark II. First film ever shot on a Fuji film. First film ever shot on an iPhone. It's the first film ever. It got so annoying. Like, you guys are all trying to have me publicize your film based on what camera you shot with, as if that matters in the end. It doesn't matter at all. It literally does not matter. I mean, some people for techie and talking shop, sure, people like to talk about what cameras were used, but it doesn't matter at all. No one's going to watch a movie and go like, oh, boy, that Sony cam sure looks great. Well, people say that. I'm being a little bit overboard with that statement. Anyhow, I don't want to hang out for too long because I do want to go back and wash my clothes because I haven't washed my clothes in a while. I want to get some food. My friend might want to watch some of these 48. Probably not tonight, but anyhow. So yeah, what's with your comments? Let's see what you guys got to say. You can ask me anything. All right, here we go. Like, bro, like your scenes for FFS. Exactly. Yep. So basically, try to be clear and precise with what you want on screen, and why are you showing it? If you're having a diner scene, and then you cut to someone's hand, there should be a reason for doing that. Everything should be a reason. That's the other conversation I was having. So somebody left a comment on my one of the 24 videos. It's like, I hate 24 because I can't shoot with it. Well, you can't pan fast with it. And so that's a common thing. Again, we're always going to talk about frame rate in this channel. I'm sorry if that offends you. The frame rate's always going to come up. And so I wrote that frame rate is a goddess that you have to treat well. If you treat it well, it will give you bountiful gifts, cinematic gifts. So part of intentionality is, why are you panning a camera? Legitimately, the question, why are you panning this camera? It boils right down to it. Why are you panning? Why not point the camera where you want it to be instead of panning to it? Why not cut to it? Okay? Those are the thoughts. So when you shoot 24 frames a second, you have to be intentional. You have to be deliberate. You can't just fly your drone around, fly it all over the place. You have to fly it with purpose. And I mean, not to brag about my approach with flying drone footage and I shoot 24 FPS for the drone. I never shoot 60. Never. Unless I have a reason to. But 24 because I want to know what I'm doing makes sense in 24 frames a second. So because it were raining really bad, I went out there and shot this one barge that they put out there for doing some lake cleaning processes. Again, I know. Super sexy stuff, right? This is stuff that's like, oh my gosh, John, you're living the dream, going out there and shooting some water cleaning barge with your drone. Very good. But anyhow, I went out there. My approach with that stuff is orbit. Put the subject in the center of your frame and use the drone to create a little bit of nice motion to just make it more interesting. So go around the subject or fly to it, fly over it. Have a purpose in the shot. So just get out there, have intention, and with 24 frames a second, demands that you have intention when you shoot. People get out their phones. People get out their phone. Oh, let me see if I like shooting 24 frames a second. 24 frames a second. Oh my gosh, it looks so bad. Oh, it looks so bad. I'll never shoot 24 frames. Put in 60. Oh, that's much smoother. That's way smoother. Well, that's why. Because you don't shoot with intention. You don't shoot with a purpose. Aim at what you want. Get it. Anyhow. The best way to reduce stress is to lower your expectation of others. I don't know. I shot a music video on a Sony A7. I shot a film on a Canon 300. Yeah, exactly. You can shoot stuff on whatever you want. You can shoot stuff on your iPhone. Now they're telling you, oh yeah, iPhone. Yep, there you go. As a colorist and editor by trade, most frustrating thing I see is often underexposed log footage. They'd be like, oh, it looks so cinematic. Yeah. Gimbals are too shaky, though. Well, I think part of that is you got to be a little more disciplined with the gimbal work. Like gimbal work, you need to, learn how to walk. It's tough. I get it. Like gimbals are not there to just like solve everything for you. You've got to learn how to walk with a gimbal. You've got to build the upper arm strength to hold it and control it. And you got to not be as violent with it as you think you need to be. I mean, sometimes yes. Like I'm working on this project for the city, which is sort of like a comedy kind of thing. So yeah, I'm moving very quickly but I'm using a very wide lens. And I want that kinetic energy. I want movement. I want like move fast, right? And it's sort of like that. What's that one director? Edgar Wright. Like Edgar Wright moves, but so deliberately. Like all his movements, and they're fast, but they're punched. Like get in there. Right? Edgar Wright pushes the gas pedal to the floor when he does like fast movement stuff. But it's always controlled. Everything's controlled. Control. So, yeah. 30 FPS is 20% more than 24. Thanks for the basic math, dude. Is someone giving us some math there? The problem with that, though, is 30 FPS isn't 20% more than 24. It's mathematically 20% more. But what is it psychophysically? It's not 30. That's not 20%. I don't know what it is. I don't know if you can put numbers on it. But 30 FPS does not look like 24. Oh, Edgar Wright's doing a Running Man movie. There you go. Extra handles and grips on gimbals. Yeah. So one thing I do like, my gimbals I have, it's one-handed, but I bought the little extension arm, so I do it with like a two-handed. So it's sort of like that rifle. And then what I do when I can push it in my arm and I can hold it with my arm. That way, when I'm carrying it, I'm not really moving it. I'm not, shooting. But yeah, having that extra little attachment so I can just two-hand it is way better. Way better. But of course, I do some shots. I'm like, oof, that was not a good movement. I got to go back and do it again. Like everything, again, intentionality. I don't want to get too cruel, mean about that. But I'm just saying, it's like you got to be intentional. You got to know what you want to do, and then do it. And the question, I guess, is, well, if you don't know what you want to do, well, try a bunch of stuff. That's what it comes with experience. I don't know. Is that making any sense, or am I sounding like an old man? Dang clouds! Ooh, how dare you! Rain on my parade. I don't know. I've just been feeling that. So I've been feeling that, and just in talking with some comments and stuff like that, or just talking to people about like 32-bit float. 32-bit float. The good example. The people always give me this example. They're like, well, John, 32-bit float's useful because if you're recording raindrops, if you're out there recording raindrops, and all of a sudden a lightning strike hits, if you're not recording 32-bit float, you're not going to get the lightning strike. And I always say to that, in what world, if your aim is to record raindrops, why do you care what the lightning strike does? It's not like I can just play that back. If a lightning strike far away, sure, I can handle it. But like a lightning strike right on top of you is a loud beast. I've had that happen. Literally, lightning strike right outside my window one time. Right outside. It's scary. It's how freaking loud that thing is. If you're recording raindrops, like raindrops, and all of a sudden, kabam! No one's going to want to listen to that. Who cares? Right? You pick one. You do the raindrops, or you record for the lightning strike. You can't do both. You don't want to do both. But you can, John, with 32 bit. Yeah. But no one in reality chooses both. And then besides, you record the raindrops, and then you get lightning. You record lightning strikes, and you mix them together because you can't always time things like that. Yeah. Intentionality is everything, says Benjamin. He agrees. See, I told you. Grip is worth it, but there's no but. Grip is worth it. I'm Team Steadicam for 95% of the stuff. Yeah. Although Steadicam is starting to move more to, there's a lot of Steadicam gimbal kind of hybrids now, where you take the gimbal and then you attach a vest to it. So I think Scorsese says, J.D. Rivers, Scorsese is the best quality of filmmakers, having patience. Yeah, I got to learn that too. Anyhow, speaking to my small set of disciples here. Oh, 24 of you. Oh, there's 24 of you. Wonderful. Welcome, my 24 concurrent viewers. The holiest of holy numbers, 24. Holiest of holy. Lovely, lovely name. All right, what else are you chatting at me about? People bringing their egos into the creative process is the bane of my existence. Yep. It's hard. Because here's the thing. You can't do this without having an ego. Like you can, if you don't have an ego and you're a filmmaker, you're probably not going to make good films. It's hard to say that. It's scary to say. Because the ego is necessary to drive you to actually put up with the crap that filmmaking is. Like and again, it's different kinds of ego. If your ego is reflected toward inward, where it's all about me, that's different than your ego it's about me knowing to get the best result, I need to work and get there. So it's more of an outwardly facing egoism versus an inwardly facing egoism. But ego is crucial though. You can't do this without having an ego. Actors can't do it without having some sort of ego, right? Why would you put yourself out there to be ridiculed, to be mocked? Why would you put yourself in front of a camera if you didn't think it was worth it, if you didn't like it in some way? That's why I think ego has a place. That's why with the 48-hour thing, like honestly, I've had my bad experiences with the 48-hour film projects have all to do with inward ego. Have to do with the fact that people got upset that they didn't win an award, right? And I've got that right now, right? Because I just watched the other ones. I'm like, they need to give me an award, but I gotta let it go because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. I'd like it, but it doesn't matter. Like the ego has to be there, but it has to be checked. So yeah, I don't know what else to tell you about that. It's my thoughts on that. Oh, there you go. That's an interesting comment. Rigel7 says, I worked on a doc reality show about two brothers on a small island off the coast of province of Atlantic Canada. Sorry. The sound op will use 32-bit float for salvageable reasons, I think. Twas the gist I got. I'm not against using 32-bit float. I'm not against it. I'm just against the idea that you have to use it. That's the only, if I had 32-bit float and it was a situation where it's like, well, this makes the most sense to record that way, I'd use it. But I really hate the whole idea like, oh, you can't buy that because it doesn't have 32-bit float. Like, no, you can be just fine. It is an option that is becoming more and more available. Doesn't mean that old stuff needs to be trashed. That's what bothers me. Because I don't relish the idea of spending another $1,000 on a Zoom F2N because I already spent $1,000 on it, and frankly I barely get a lot of use out of it yet. I just use the most basic functions on it, and I am not spending another $1,000 just because it has 32-bit float when this one works perfectly well and more than everything I need. Even that way with my drone too. Like I have a Mavic 2, and I just, I guess there are times I'm like, well, the image is a little bit crunchy or a little bit soft, but I just can't justify buying a Mavic 3. Or Mavic 3 Pro. I would probably want to go to the high end of it, but I wouldn't be able to afford the $10,000 Mavic 3 Pro. But the Mavic 2, it's like, I don't know. I don't think it'd make my job easier, make my ability to tell stories easier. So, all right, what are we talking about? Yeah, creativity is about. It can certainly create. It can create a certainty that stifles creative spitballing and chokes the process. Creativity is about me. Yeah, no, you're not wrong about exploration, but I think exploration, you can have intentionality and still explore. I guess here's an acting kind of direction. Like I know, let's say I know the character needs to be distraught. Like that's my intention. Okay, now the creativity is how do I explore that? How do I build that up? How do I tell that story? So that's what I think. 32-bit is definitely useful when you're working. Nah. Eh. So to be honest, most microphones have 120 decibel range. Right, 120 decibel is the maximum sound pressure most microphones can handle. Unless you go and buy yourself a high-end, like a specialty microphone used for loud stuff, you're never going to go about 120 decibels. 24-bit by itself is already 144 decibels. So if you were to set your microphone to the max it can handle, 120 decibels, which is loud, which is like basically taking this microphone, putting it to my teeth, and then screaming as loud as I can. That's about 100. That's about 135 actually. 135 decibels is right where that would be. I measured it. I actually bought some stuff to measure it. It's not like that's just not you're not gonna really get beyond 32. Like 32-bit float. It's nice to have. If you have it, use it. I'm saying is necessity. It's pretty much not a necessity ever. But sure, if you want to knock your... What I was explaining to me in the comments on that video was you basically have a choice. You can either do your gain staging during production or you can gain stage in post-production. That's all 32-bit float does. Like you can spend 5 seconds and just dial down your, check your audio. Like, okay, do some tests. Okay, turn it down, make sure you're safe. And then in post, well, now you don't have to do it anymore. Or you can take those 5 seconds and do that in post for 5 seconds. That's all you're doing, transferring. There you go. Oh, cool. The Sound Devices Tech Show, there were a Nexus kit capable of scanning entire megahertz spectrum for wireless transmission. Interesting. That's cool. To me, it's like shooting everything in 8K. You might not need to. It's not a good analogy. Don't go with that analogy. It's actually a terrible analogy. Like 32-bit float is not like shooting 8K. It's just not. Don't think of it that. It's great for high wind situations. No, it's not. No, it's not. You guys need to learn to turn your gain down. You guys are so obsessed with looking at your meters and thinking that line needs to fill up all the way to the top. You guys have this exposed to the right mentality. In audio, that's just the wrong way to approach it. You need to record. Give yourself that headroom of 20 decibels, and that is a huge amount. Huge amount. All right. Creativity is more about the resources, what you make from the resources you've got, I guess. What you make out of it. What says what? No. You're missing the point. I think creativity is about intentionality. It's not about making, if I just gave you a bunch of stuff and you say, well, this is going to make it with what I have, I don't think that's the way you approach it. I think creativity is about telling the story. Like intentionally telling the story. It's not about making the resources you have. Because honestly, your story is not better, your movie is not better just because you don't have that many resources. That's the other side of the ticket too. That's also here's the truth. Just because your movie was made for $500 doesn't mean it should be judged less than a movie made for $500,000 or 500 million. There are allowances, yes. But at the end of the day, which is a term that I also hate, but at the end of the day, like At the end of the day, it's how effective you are with the storytelling. It's not about your resources. You could tell a great story with $1 million. You could tell a great story with $1,000, with $1. It's how effective that story is. And I guess what I'm saying is subtract everything else, because nothing else matters except what's on that screen. Nothing else matters. Just what's on that screen, what is being shown. Now, you might have to get creative. If you don't have a big budget, you might have to, there's your creativity line, right? You might have to figure out ways to tell your story in a way that's more impactful, it's a way that's more engaging, right? Then if you had $500 million, you could fly the camera all around the room and woo, right? You can do all that. And if you want to tell the kind of an impactful story in a small way without the spectacle of Hollywood, you have to figure out strategies to do that, right? But in the end, what matters is what's on that screen and what is the story being told. You're talking about abstract concepts and how you express them? Let's see. Maybe. I'm not quite following you. Bullet Science's gain as intended is actually for cable quality and resistance. There you go. Okay. I'm not quite following that, but I think that sounds good. I think creativity comes from making film something bigger than the story. Exploring new things through the story rather than merely adapting it to pictures. Yeah, I guess. I won't fight you on that. Yang Wang, you're making me sad, dude. One less thing to worry about when you have the tiny crew. You lost the plot there. It's not one less thing to worry about. It's, do you care about those details? Here's the thing. One less thing to funk up is what you said. Editing a doc where the audio levels were messed up noise. That's because your filmmakers are not intentional. It's not a fuck up. It's you're not paying attention. 32-bit doesn't solve that. It doesn't. You can have a wire broken. You can have a broken wire. You can have the microphone 20 feet away from the subject matter. You can have all the audio errors in the world. Because the filmmaker does not have that intentionality, that focus. And you say, one less thing to worry about. No, this is something you need to worry about. Audio is something you need to worry about. You can't just, I don't need to worry about it. It's one less thing to worry about. That makes you a shitty filmmaker. If you're not worried about audio, if you're not intending to record that, if you're not putting on your cans, listening to an interview, you're not a good filmmaker. Just not. So I hate that mentality. One less thing to worry about. One less thing to worry about when I'm shooting with a small crew. No. Focus on what matters. What matters is audio. If you're recording an interview, the audio matters. So focus on it. Put your mind to it. Take the 5 seconds, literally 5 seconds to turn the gain right where you need to. Yes, I agree, but we live in a world of shitty filmmakers. Do I accept that? No, I don't. If I just accepted that, I wouldn't be out making these little videos. I don't want shitty filmmakers. I want to teach people. I want people to learn. I want people to tell stories that matter to them. I want them to make them with intention. Facts, John. I'll be spitting them facts. Facts don't care about your feelings. Yeah, Denny says, I don't get the one less thing to worry about. You have to worry about things that are crucial. Plus, if you can't worry about it, plus if others can worry about it, so can you. Well, it's the same thing. Why do we need viewfinders? Just shoot everything with a wide-angle lens and with an 8K, and then we'll just zoom in on post. We don't even need to look in the viewfinder. We don't need to do that. We just put an 8mm lens on our camera. We'll shoot it in 12K. We'll get that 12K Blackmagic camera. There you go. Put 8mm and just slap it on the floor. Done. One less thing to worry about. We don't need to worry about exposure because we're shooting in RAW, so we don't need to worry about exposure. We don't worry about composition because, hey, we're using 12K. We can just zoom in, do whatever we want. We can do, we'll just shoot on green screen, we'll put everything, we don't have to worry about any of that stuff. I'm gonna shoot a 32-bit float on green screen, 12K, 8mm lens, and we'll shoot it like super small f-stop, so we don't have to worry about focus. Everything's in focus. Oh, it's worry-free filmmaking right there. Isn't that nice? Oh. You guys realize how stupid that sounds, right? Because it is stupid. Worry about it. Worry about intentional. Be intentional. I have a feeling this topic would be more interesting than Beekeeper. Not that Beekeeper's fine, but intentionality matters more. We can fix it in post, John. My t-shirt that says "Don't fix it in post" did not sell well, so. Matthew says, recommend the article, The Film Look and How Holdovers Achieved It by Devin Scott. There you go. With the footage that I encounter in my editing, grading pictures, I very much prefer the garbage DP shoot, everything wide at 100K resolution and RAW. I hate to say it, Steve Meon, but maybe you need to be looking at better. Maybe you need to be working with better people. Like I'm not passing judgment, but I'm saying don't allow poor filmmaking to be your guide to what is. Like, don't allow the crap that you see be what you expect. Open yourself up to what could be better and then aim for that better. Because I'll tell you, there's a lot of really good, talented people out there. I watch those 48s. A lot of them were rough. A lot of them were very, very rough. And part of me refuses, because if I just look down my nose on people, then I won't become better. Like, that's what I want. I want to be better. I want to be better. The heck. It was so sweet. I don't know if you guys saw my little post here. Captain Disillusion put my logo in his video. And I was watching it, and I immediately like, oh my gosh, Captain Disillusion shouted me out on that video. Shouted me. That was, and the other guy's like, yeah, right next to Marcus Brownlee. Like Marcus Brownlee put out the Apple video that just made him like 200 or 2 million views in like 3 days. And me, I'm going to make, my good videos are 50,000 videos, man. 50,000 videos. Yama says, yeah, I agree, but someone's got to pay the bills. Yeah. Pay the bills, man. Pay the bills. I'm here. I'm all with you on that, dude. Pay the bills. You got to pay the bills. But don't hold that level of quality as like, it happens to a lot of people, I think. You get comfortable with a certain level of quality. And I feel like I'm feeling that right now. Like I'm feeling like I'm at this certain quality level and it's bothering me because I want to do some more serious like narrative work. And by serious, I mean like actual intentionally narrative, not just like city stuff. But again, pays the bills. So I don't know. Yeah, Captain Dissolution. Captain, not Dissolution. What's his name? Captain, CD. Is it Dissolution? I don't think it's Dissolution. But yeah, he's really cool. He's been super nice to me. I wrote him one time just on X. I said, man, I'm such a big fan of yours. Like, your stuff is so freaking good. Like, my stuff, I don't have the 3D skills that he has, so I can't deliver that kind of stuff. I mean, I could put in the effort to make them really good, but then I would never make a video. It would just be, they would literally be, I could never justify spending that much time on the videos. Well, maybe I should. Maybe that's what I need to do. I don't know. When are you going to see my recent AI video? I will show it probably after. So tonight is when the voting ends. So once the voting ends, I think I can probably put it online. So that's my goal, is probably put it online like in the next week or so. Maybe I should just post that as a video. I'll post it as a video for you guys. Yeah, so anyhow. Resolution has little to do with storytelling. Sing the praises. Amen. There's always talent coming up. God doesn't suddenly decide to stop giving talent and determination to match for many people. Being an artist is not a job, but a career. Yep. Oh, yeah, my kitchen table dramas. I got to do those, too. Yeah. I don't know. The more distance I got from them, I'm like, I don't know if I like those. We should put it out there just to see it, right? Just so you can see the warts and all, right? Warts and all. Show you the whole thing. That way you can kind of see the from concept to like finish mind. I think the most important thing a lot of filmmakers lack today is a willingness to learn and experiment. Yeah, that is definitely an issue. Like a lot of people just want to play with gear. And here's the thing. Here's what bothers me most about it. There's a lot of money to be made. During the California gold rush, who were the people that got rich? It wasn't the people who were mining for gold. It was the people that sold the shovels. I'll say that again. During the gold rush, it's not the people that mined for gold that got rich. It was the people that sold the shovels. Why? What does that have to do with filmmaking? Who's selling shovels to you? Who's telling you you've got to get rid of your 24-bit audio system and replace it with 32-bit float? Why does that matter? It's the money. And I'm a dirty, dirty gold capitalist. I'm a dirty capitalist. Free markets, I love them. Competition, yeah. Consumerism, I'm not a big fan of consumerism. But capitalism, yeah, baby, pay me. If you love me, pay me. That's how I feel. But if you want to tell your story, there's ways to do it. And the thing about filmmaking is it is not a cheap thing to do. I'm sorry. It will require money. It'll require money. That's just true. Someone else have a problem with the audio? Well, you got a problem with my audio? What is that? You got a problem with my audio, dude? Bro, let's go. You got a problem with my audio? No, I think I'm recording in 16-bit at this point. Did I notice the crazy distortions watching the Beekeeper? Apparently, they use anamorphic zoom most of the time. How do high-budget flicks use anamorphic? Why are you asking why do high-budget films use anamorphic? Are you kidding me? Because people love the look of anamorphic. That's why. I mean, I think like only high-budget movies can afford anamorphic. Like they're really high-end stuff. Like people love anamorphics. It's awesome. That's why. People shouldn't be bringing their anxiety to art. I don't know. I ask myself why I do these live streams. I do. Why do I do these live streams? I should be making videos. I find in many ways the live stream's a way for me to just talk about stuff without becoming over obsessively formal about it. You know, I could write a whole video about intentionality, spend 2 weeks going over it bit by bit by bit by bit and rewriting it. And then I'd probably never make it because I wouldn't feel like it has enough impact on people. Maybe I should. Maybe I should write a video about intentionality. I probably should. But the live streams I do is kind of a way to unload a little bit, to just not think about certain things or get my mind to filmmaking, what I love. Which I love is story. I'm finding that out more and more. It's like story matters to me. So when people ask me, hey, John, what do you think of the Surrey lenses? I'm like, ask me what I think about the black and white version of Godzilla. I'll talk to you about that. Ask me about why Beekeeper needs more bee puns. I will tell you about that. But if you ask me about Suri lenses, I don't know. I don't really care. All I know is I got a cinematic lens on my one camera, and I love the way that looks. So yeah, good for me. Rigel 7, speaking of not being cheap, I just finished the diary portion of Robert Rodriguez's Rebel Without a Crew. I still have the 10-minute film school book chunk to finish. There you go. I think Robert Rodriguez is passion. Talk about passionate guy. I mean, go back and watch those movies. Like there's passion there, and there's intentionality. Robert Rodriguez had a vision, or he knew what he liked, and he went for it. So, yeah. Anyhow, I didn't want to spend too much time because I do want to get going and doing some stuff. I just made a penny. Yes. Oh, that feels so good. I can't wait to get that penny in about a month. Oh, thank you, Mark. Right from the heart. Gotcha, man. Coke anamorphic lenses are awesome. Warm look. Also depends on the camera you use, but I'll use a 4x3 sensor and a 4.6K shot on an Area 35. Love that. Beekeeper is all about story and the theme. Sound is good, I think. All audible, nothing noisy. That should be on the poster. Bruno says, yeah, boy. Don't spend that penny on one place, says Jack D. Ripper. I'm trying not to. I don't know. Movies are getting expensive. Coke lenses were used on the Beekeeper. Cool. The Beekeeper. Oh no. People, let's try to stay calm. The Beekeeper is here. The Beekeeper? Not the Beekeeper. Is that him? No, that's not what a beekeeper looks like. That is an exterminator. Oh, thank goodness, an exterminator. What about him over there? No, that's a plumber. What about him over there? No, that's a journeyman electrician. Over there. Yes. That there, over there. That man. He's got the mark of the Beekeeper. Beekeeper. That's what the movie should have been the whole way through. Just it should have been a comedy. It should have just been an over-the-top comedy. With a little bit of, throw some action in for the people. Let the people have some action, but just comedy. Bees. Everywhere. I'm not saying I didn't like it, in case she's watching this. I liked it. I liked it fine. I told her, I was like, needs more bees. Needs more bees. John Honey. John Wick's brother. John Honey. That's also, it's a lot of wax buildup. Oh, she just, Hollywood, just call me and I'll just rewrite your script. I'll use ChatGPT. I'll give you like half. I'll give you like half the writers. No, I guess I can't do that. I'll get paid the full Writers Guild thing, but I'll stuff your script full of bee puns. I'll do it. Oh yeah, I'm doing all day long. I was shooting some civic stuff. It's kind of boring, but I want to do some more bee work. That's right. Jack says, all you got to do is beehive yourself, John. Don't stop believing. Yeah, that's actually that is in the movie. Time to smoke out, but they're not smoking out bees. They're smoking out the hornets. Time to smoke out the hornets. Oh man, if Clint Eastwood was in that movie, that'd be great. Like young Clint Eastwood. My bees don't like the fact that you're laughing, because my bees think that you're laughing at them. So I'm not very appreciative of that. Yep. Tell you, such a buzzkill. It's got that flavor. You could taste that buzzkill. There was a buzzkill in the movie, though, but literally because the guy just chopped his fingers off with a buzzsaw. So there was some buzz killing. But yeah, if you roll it around your mouth, buzzkill. Yeah, that's tasty. That's a tasty one. I like that. Very good. Very good. Well, I'll be seeing you later. That's what he should have said. Like at the end of the movie, he's like, I'll be seeing you later. At the very end of the movie, like the FBI agent has like the gun on the Beekeeper guy, Jason Statham. He's like, turns around, I'll be seeing you. He jumps out the window. Don't stop. Believe. All right. See, this is why you should have called me. Should have said, John Hess at filmmakeriq.com. What do you say? More bees. More bee. You better believe it. Get myself a nice beverage, a nice cool water. But not a bottled one, no, from the tap for that penny. You're sweet like pollen? Okay, that's okay. Yeah. It smells like honeysuckle in here. I can't believe it. There you go. Stick around. I need to get my honeycomb. Where's Pooh in his honey pot? Oh my gosh, this is horrible. This is very bad. We're very, very, very bad. Hey, I got somebody texting me from way back where. There we go. Jack, you just look at this. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Oh, I'll try that out. Hey, you know that beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Oh my gosh. All right. There you go. Thank you, Dirk Schneider. Super chat. I got 50 SEKs. There you go. What did you say? What do you want me to read? What do you want me to read? I just watched part 7 of Decalogue. Oh, cool. It's pretty amazing how consistently good the photography despite using several different DPs. Well, they're all good DPs. I've only seen the first one of Decalogue, and it still like haunts my brain. That very first episode of Decalogue. Because they made us watch that in a class I took called Religion and Science in college. I should just go. Well, some of the other ones just felt like they were a little too dark, but it's part 7. I want to finish up. Finish up. What's it called? For All Mankind. I haven't finished that yet. I've been busy. So watching Bee Movie. Oh, sorry, Beekeeper. I'll be back. So many things you can do with this, right? I leaned over in the movie and I asked her, hey, what letter comes after A? And the answer is B. If you didn't know. What a glorious movie. Who would have thought you could have so much fun with a movie called Beekeeper? Tell you what, dude. They should have Sting do the count. Oh, there you go. Sting do the soundtrack for the Bee movie. Very clever. I love it. No, you said your super chat went through. I got it. I read it for you. I read it out loud. It just takes me a little longer because the chat has to like populate, and then the vMix social has to grab it, and only grabs it like every 5 seconds or something like that. Oh, look at that. 50 SEK is 2 million Iranian real. Oh, man. Nice. I probably gotta get going pretty soon. Been an hour. I know it's a short one. But I gotta like go get some dinner, and I gotta go like wash my clothes, 'cause I haven't washed my clothes. I gotta wash my dishes. I haven't done that in a while. Collar bee holder. Is that they're called the beekeepers? They are not collar bee holders. They are beekeepers. Ooh. Oh yeah. Matthew says Cameron's receiving a lot of criticism from video files and cine files due to the use of AI in the new 4K transfer of Titanic, The Abyss, True Lies, and Aliens. Well, hopefully, I guess the thing is, like, if they're making a new version, then I guess whatever, or a new release, you can do whatever he wants. But as long as they don't destroy all the other old ones, that's the important thing. Fun fact: pollen is not sweet until it gets vomited by the bees. It's just like they should literally just put that line in the movie. It's just like fighting. Hey, listen up, bad guy. Fun fact: pollen is not sweet until it's vomited by the bees, and then he stabs him in the back of the head, and he throws up. That'd be perfect. I think we solved the world's problems tonight. Well done, John. That is point 1 for filmmaker IQ. Captain Disillusion, or Disillusion, right? It's Captain Disillusion. Captain Disillusion, love you, my friend, but you did not solve the world's problems about B-movie in your videos. Now, your videos are finely produced. They're excellent, well-paced, hilarious. They're good, funny material, and the information is so valuable to the world. But I can't say, Captain Disillusion, I can't say you've solved the lack of puns in B-movie, the Beekeeper. I mean, that... his outfit has yellow, which is cool. His work is amazing, but he just does not come close to me as far as figuring out puns for Beekeeper, which is truly what the internet is built for. I mean, Al Gore, when he sat down at a desk and thought and dreamt and poured the internet from his brain, just like a ray, the internet. He sat there with the intention of creating a platform for a dude talk about the Beekeeper from the heart and fill it with puns. Just fill it. Taste it. Breathe in. Smell that honey. Smell the right there. Right. Oh, do I detect clover? Yes, I do. Clover. Yes. Yeah, clover. Honeysuckle, of course. Go figure. What else is there? Oh, yes, tangerine. Can we just sit here for a second and just enjoy the flavor of these bee puns? Just yes. Yes. Beautiful. Beautiful. Beautiful bee movies. Beekeeper. Bees. Bees. All right. With that lovely image in your head, I will be seeing you hopefully next week. Yeah, I should be able to go next week. Next week I have to go to my friend's 91st or birthday. It's awesome. I'm gonna go see him. So maybe I'll do it on Saturday or something like that. Or we might do it in the week. We'll figure this out. We'll figure it out. Definitely figure it out. All right, guys. I will be seeing you later. And we will talk to you. What has become of the stream? It has become the epitome of online distribution states. Time for Plan B. There we go. Delicious. You just savor it. Just savor it. I'm milking this. Oh, not milking. I'm extracting the honey from this lovely stream. All right. Enough of me clowning around there. We will talk to you later. Filmmaker IQ. We'll see ya. Don't stop believing. Bye-bye. Bye.